Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Outlander, Brotherly Love. And I overall enjoyed this episode, but it doesn't get full marks from me because it feels like they put way too much in here, and we are just going to be blitzing through some things. I wish that there was more time to ruminate and actually kind of tease out certain kind of things, because we get Ian's death, we get Roger dealing with Galus, we've got Claire getting into Philadelphia, dealing with Lord John, and Henry dealing with the spy networks, things going on with Jamie coming over, and then Claire being caught with the whole kind of spy operations. We've got Ian dealing with Archbug and tying in William Ransom. It's a lot. And I don't think it was horribly executed. It's just, we're going like a mile wide and an inch deep, when I really wish that they had teased out some more stuff. Now, we start off the episode pretty much with a flashback of Jamie and Ian when they were younger and being taught how to fight by Ian's father, where he's like, listen, you have to be on his left to protect your chieftain, to protect Jamie, and seeing him work and try and figure out they didn't win because they didn't work together, and seeing them just kind of talk about that and just understand their kind of relationship, being like, yeah, I've loved you as a brother ever since, kind of thing, which was really kind of awesome. And seeing them kind of joke and everything, and Ian's pretty much coughing, and he's like, oh God, be careful, man, I don't want to take you back, and pretty much be like, yeah, I killed yeah, I very much made him laugh so much that he died. It's like, oh shit. And they did a very good job, especially Ian's actor, of he's in that kind of way where he's on the downward spiral, and then we get Jamie kind of carrying him onto the bed, and him kind of passing away, saying that he's on his left. Now, since I'm more into the MCU, on your left kind of has a kind of different meaning for me, but they still do get that emotional anchor across, where he's his sworn brother, he's his shield bearer on that side, and it just hits. And seeing them, Jamie and Jenny, kind of have him pass away, and then seeing them kind of ruminate on what to do next. Jenny's like, is he here? Where is he? What's kind of going on? Before we see that Jamie pretty much makes plans to visit France and then get on his way to Claire in Philadelphia. And I liked the scenes with Jamie and Jenny. It's that kind of brother and sister kind of thing, of what's kind of going on, of how they kind of handle it. I think they sell it pretty well. Now, I would have preferred the original Jenny actress, but they do a very good job here and still put that kind of chemistry forward. That's a hard thing to do. And I know it's kind of weird to kind of explain to someone that, one, either doesn't have any siblings, or two, has a sibling relationship that is vastly more different and maybe a little bit more fractious, where you're like, I wouldn't piss on that motherfucker if they were on fire, kind of shit. I got nothing on that. I don't have that kind of relationship with my sister. So when I see these kind of ones done, even if they have ups and downs that are kind of vastly different, I like when we've got those kind of relationships put to the forward and understanding and teasing them out. I actually really like having that kind of found brothership as well between Ian and Jamie. It's important to have those kind of ones put forward as well, because a lot of times people are like, oh, you've just got friends, you don't have siblings, that doesn't count. It's no. Even as someone that has a sibling, if you find someone that is your friend, and there's a difference between a friend and someone that you would pretty much go into battle with and defend them on their side, kind of shit. That's your family. You're beyond just friends. I mean, yeah, you do stuff that friends do, but it's that next kind of tier. I like seeing that, and we needed. I would have liked to have a kind of deeper kind of exploration of that, but we don't have time for that. We got to get through all this shit and then set up for the next season. So we then shift over and see what's kind of going on in Philadelphia under the occupation of the British and what that kind of entails. Pretty much asking for Ian's papers and just ignoring Claire. And I don't mind that much, but I kind of, again, wanted more kind of exploration of that. It does irk her, but then it also, if we had ruminated a little bit more on it, I would have liked to see her kind of getting teased into that journey of, like, they don't fucking see me, so even though I can do stuff as a physician, I can do shit as a spy as well. And maybe do, like, 1 or 2 episodes on that, because she immediately does it in this episode and almost immediately gets caught in a way that I don't even really understand how they kind of even linked it to her. We, again, needed more on it. It's like, ugh. So, we get to pretty much Lord John, always a good one, because the actor just fucking nails everything. He does great. He does a great job here. Pretty much talking about how we see her get there, being kind of surprised that the property is owned by an African-American woman, and that she is, of course, on the rebels kind of side, and Lord John kind of lays out what's kind of going on. Henry was pretty much there convalescing as a prisoner of war, and then Lord John pretty much came in, put on his suit pretty much for intimidation, even though he's still pretty much retired, to pretty much protect her and his family member, to make sure that that could work out. Now, it's funny, because he's like, wow, you came earlier than I thought you would. Oh, it was just 5 weeks. And I'm like, this dude's not dead. And then we see that he's had like 2 musket balls in him. Hunter, Rachel's brother, Denzel Hunter, was able to get one of them, but wasn't able to find any of the other ones. So Lord John pretty much bought up all the vitriol, and she's like, well, I gotta go out and do this. And it's like, listen, I don't know exactly what you're fucking doing with that shit, but I bought up all the fucking shit in this kind of place, so get to it. So she could make ether and operate on him. And again, this is a thing that I'm like, yay, I'm glad that they're doing this, but I really would have had them expand upon this more, as Denzel's like, holy shit, you're like showing me the insides of a live person, and they're not fucking screaming because you've opened their ass up. It's like, yeah, as they then go through and try and find the other musket ball, which is actually in his intestines. And I love Lord... Actor's got it great, because he looks so fucking uncomfortable, and I completely empathize with him as he's like, oh god, he's got the mask on. Now, I'm pretty much going to be doing all the Claire, Jamie, Ian kind of stuff, and then I'm going to do the Roger stuff, because it was edited so weird, because I don't need a complete thing of like, we are now moving on to Roger's shit, but sometimes you're doing shit and I'm like, yeah, I'm into this, and then Whiplash fucking tucked off to some other kind of place. You're like, god damn it. So they're able to find out that the musket ball went in so hot that it cauterized itself in there, and it's like, holy fucking shit. And Denzel's like, whoa, damn, as they pretty much fix it and figure out kind of what's going on. We also pop in on Rachel and William Ransom, pretty much trying to lay the groundwork for the love triangle thing, but I mean, again, it's down to pacing. That's the biggest kind of problem. We see that William is pretty much helping her with her shopping, and I know they're trying to make it look like William has any kind of shot in any kind of hell with her, but I don't really get that. If you get that and it achieves that for you, cool. I don't get that whatsoever. So they pretty much do that. Rolo pretty much runs off, gets up with Ian. She's kind of like, okay, that kind of sucks. Brings up that her and William are pretty much enemies. And with how the war and everything's going on, and him pretty much being in with the Loyalists, and her being, of course, with the Rebellion. And it's kind of cool, because I kind of like them kind of exploring this a little bit, but again, depth. I know I keep harping on that, but the thing is, it's the depth that is the problem. Not that it can't be there, it's just they can't do that here because we gotta jam everything in. So they pretty much go a little bit back and forth, trying to figure that kind of out. And then we pretty much see that William kind of goes off, but then pretty much tries to come back to be like, you're not my enemy, we're all right. And her pretty much getting set upon by Archbug and being like, I'm going to kill you in front of his ass. And her pretty much being like, none of this makes any fucking sense. It's like, it's my duty to my wife. It's like, oh, you fucking dipshit ass motherfucker. Vengeance is always fucking stupid. And then, of course, we get the expedited thing of, instead of having it happen in a place of business, they happen in the stables, where Ian's like, ah, shit, fuck. And then they kind of tussle. Ian gets hurt a little bit, and Ransom fucking shoots him, which pretty much has the same effect as the book, but it's like, alright, cool, I fucking got this. Just bug off. I got this. Fuck off. And we then get the scene with, like, Ian being, he's already patched up by his hand. And they pretty much is trying to be like, listen, I love you. Pretty much actually saying it, because Rachel's like, what are your feelings toward me? It's like, I love you, and I want to make that clear. It's like, yes, Ian. Good, Ian. And of course, wondering about his father dying, as well as a big kind of thing over the whole episode. Claire eventually getting a letter from Jamie talking about how he then went to France, pretty much looking on Joni, and then is taking this one ship, and he should be pretty much sailing to the colonies, which then leads us to what kind of happens towards the end of the episode. But I digress. We go back to Ian and Rachel, and he's like, I want to be with you, but I can't be what you want me to be. I won't say fake words. It's like, good, Ian. And then she's talking about what Rollo is. Is he a dog? Is he a wolf? He's both. He's a tame one. He's like, all right, you're a wolf. You'll hunt at night, but you'll be my wolf. It's like, interesting way to justify it. Interesting way to look at it. Let's see how that kind of works out for you two. We also get that Claire is kind of like going through collecting herbs and all that kind of shit. Pretty much getting known around town for that. Before the owner of the house is like, I'm a rebel spy. I gotta get my shit, but to the rebels. However, one of the people got pinched, so they're kind of like going after me as well. They don't know me exactly, so I don't know what the fuck to do. So Claire decides to do it, and like we're only shown her doing this one time, and then the one dude that pretty much had gotten Ransom to do his stupid kind of shit's like, I got that she's pretty much a spy and everything. So that kind of works on that kind of way, and that's a little bit more towards the end. So we see her doing that, and then where are we going? We then pretty much get news that Jamie's ship has supposedly sunk, and her and John are trying to deal with the whole fallout, saying that there's no survivors and everything. Mainly, I've read, of course, the synopses and all that of what's kind of going on, but this is a kind of big thing. Claire being like, it can't be real. I feel it in my heart if he was dead. And John's like, I don't want to believe it either. And he fucking sells it. He's like, God damn. And we see them both very distraught. Claire and John really sell them grieving for Jamie. Claire pretty much locked in the room. Of course, that's when William Ransom's dude pops up and like, she's a spy! It's like, and I've got proof and shit. And John's like, God damn it. So he goes in and pretty much is like, listen, we gotta get married. I'll protect you and protect anyone kind of like around you to pretty much get this marriage thing done. It just escalates to a point of like, shit. Now, this does happen in the books and within the summaries. It's just, holy fucking shit. I didn't think we'd be doing all this shit at once. That's the kind of gnarliness that kind of works on. It's like, oh my god. Because everything is just boom. Alright, I think that is the main stuff that I remember for what's going on there. Then, with Roger, it's pretty much like, it's mainly just side quest territory shit at this point. We didn't check in with Rihanna yet. We see that he pretty much tries to pump Galis for information on Rob Cameron, thinking that for some odd fucking reason, they might have like crossed paths in the future past, 1960s, 1968, kind of, 1960, 1968, yes, that's correct here. And then, like, something along that effect. she's pretty much like, I'm gonna bang your ass. It's like, you're related to me, really? Like, no thank you, I'm looking for my son. It's like, alright, whatever. And then, cool thing is, we get Greg McTavish back as Dougal, pretty much setting up that this is the beginning of his feelings for Galus. Buckley not only not knowing that that's his mother and father, but Greg McTavish is important because Dougal's pretty much bringing this up, like, I don't know about, you're talking about like a ferryman or whatnot. He's had these weird ass things, and they're pretty much military identification tags for Roger's father. And I don't know what they're kind of going for with his parts, because the narrating in his head is of a different kind of tactic than other ones like Jamie or Claire, because it's happening mainly as we're seeing it. I don't know why that's going on. I understand that we're doing it to pretty much get a feeling and an idea of what's going on in Roger's head. It's a kind of tactic that's also used in comic books as well. Granted, overlapping on my reviews, I do comic books as well, and you sometimes see thought bubbles and what kind of goes on for what's going on in a character's head. Here, I'm just like, what are you trying to do? Now, it's pretty funny because they're not badly done. It's just weird of why it's being done, because I love kind of Rogers thinking to himself like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck, this lady's batshit as fuck kind of shit. I'm paraphrasing, putting my own kind of spin on it, but it's just like, oh god. And relaying that it's his father's stuff is like, okay, and that pretty much puts him on that path to kind of go that route. Being like, I was looking for Jeremiah, but evidently this is my father. It's like, okay, it's like, yeah. That's because Jem hasn't gone through the stones to the way that you would think that he would. So, we'll see. I understand that they kind of probably wanted some kind of way to force Brianna and Roger and Jem and Mandy to go back to Fraser's Ridge. I think it would have probably been better to have some kind of shadowy organization catching on to the fact that there are time travelers and a lot more kind of going on to attempt to influence and change history, and have them actively kind of like going after them. More along the lines of some kind of international organization that's very mustache twirly and shit like that. I would have taken that, rather than we've got this one weird dude reads this shit, it's like, I'm gonna go after this gold. It's like, we already have a lot of people kind of hunting for certain kind of golds. It's like, if it's not the Jacobite gold, it's the Nazi gold, Confederate gold, insert whoever lost this gold here, gold. I just find that funny throughout all of history. It's like, it's just shiny metal. Now, at a certain point, you can utilize it for advanced electronics and shit. But, it's just, alright. So I think it's more like, I understand dealing with father issues and everything like that is an important kind of story point to hit on with Roger. It's just, even in reading the summary, I'm like, why is this here? Again, understanding the whole kind of threat and everything that they're attempting to do, it's like we're going and spinning and doing some weird kind of shit. So, we have left our characters distraught, mainly Claire and John, and that they have to get married to make sure that Claire isn't arrested and dealt with as a spy. Even though she's like, you know what if I do want to hang and die? It's like, listen to John for a minute. Until we kind of deal with what's kind of going on. I almost expect within the next episode to have that kind of thing dealt with at least halfway through. This is almost similar in the aspect of the Transformers movie, Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen, where Optimus Prime, okay, spoiler, 2009. God damn, I think. 2009? I gotta look that up. Jesus, yeah, 2009. Where Optimus Prime dies and comes back and is resurrected in the same movie. Now, we don't have that effect happening completely and utterly here, but we don't have enough time to explain everything, so we're just gonna buck on through. Kind of similar to Game of Thrones. I do not like how this is shaping up like that. These stories deserve better. Sometimes, sure, you need to reconfigure a budget or whatnot. Sometimes you need more episodes to deal with shit. Sometimes you should just hiatus the damn thing in a reasonable time manner. I mean, if you've got to wait 10 fucking years and like a kid that you had in a show is supposed to still be a kid and they're like a fucking 30-year-old at that point, you're like, what? But if you need to let somebody finish a book or whatnot, let them do it. You know, it's not on the same kind of level. Martin still has like 6 and 7, depending upon what kind of happens with him. So that had a whole kind of bunch. But I get eerie similarities to pretty much the ending points of Game of Thrones. And I'm still having enjoyment from this because the actors are just doing really well. The kind of anchor ones that know what they need to do and know how to sell what they're doing do a great job. Ian, Jamie, Claire, old Ian, Lord John. These anchor ones that we've been with, they are able to sell and do the stuff, and I'm just like, you need to give them what they need. I'm like, this is good, but it could be better. So we'll see how this kind of works out and what kind of escalations we'll kind of go through before we start ramping about further on. I mean, I hate to say that ramping kind of style, but I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes left. And we've got a fuck ton of shit to get through. So let's see how this works. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.